Hello everyone, it's the one and only DS. What we saw last night was absolutely ridiculous. It not only affected the Marlins' attempt at a rally, but it cost them the game. We lose by 1 run, and that run was taken from us in the 7th inning. I'll show you guys the play in a little bit, but I just want to take a moment to discuss how impactful this series is. The Miami Marlins are coming off a winning series against Cincinnati, and we have to face the Phillies one final time in the regular season. And what makes this even more interesting is that before this game, we tied them in the season series 5-5. So whoever wins this final series will have the sole tiebreaker head to head, and it would help us in the wild card race if we won the series against them, which is going to be hard to do now because we have to win the next two. But an egregious call ruined our momentum. When we were down 4-1, top of the 7th, bases loaded, Sanoja with an 0-2 count against Bolin. He hits this down the line, and it's a fair ball. It's an obvious fair ball, but the first base umpire called this a foul initially. And Harper just stops running. I mean, that's what you should do when there is a foul ball called. I can't blame him. But I want to show you the angle of where the first base umpire was looking. Here it is, zoomed in a little more. The ball's fallen, and it lands right in front of his face. I don't know how you could miss that call. Like, I'll replay this back and forth. Not one part of it touched the foul zone. It's on the line, but it is a fair ball. What the hell? Now, they did review this and overturn the call, but you want to know what the decision was, the full decision? We scored 2 runs instead of 3 that play. Because what I heard from the Marlins broadcast, they said that the New York Replay Center said that we cannot assume that the Marlins would score 3 because Bryce Harper would have made a play. That is bullshit. First of all, that hit by Sanoja, if it was initially called a fair ball, it would not be cut off. Look how fast this was going, and it was headed straight towards the warning track at the very far right of the outfield. Bryce Harper, even if he was running at full speed, would not be able to cut this off. And you're telling me that an aging Harper would be able to make a perfect relay to get Otto Lopez, who was the runner from first base? Like, every runner is going to go on contact at 2 outs. You're telling me that he would have made a relay to get him out at home? You got to be kidding me. The reasoning behind that final decision is laughable. And if anything, it could have been a base clearing triple for Sanoja. The way the ball was headed, I think he would have gotten all the way to third base. And here's some more clarity on yesterday's situation. Shout out to Kyle Seeloff, the Miami Marlins play-by-play announcer, for sharing this. But this is Bryce Harper's stats from Baseball Savant for this season. His arm strength is at the 58th percentile, and his sprint speed is at the 46th percentile. Yeah, more proof that he's not getting Otto Lopez out at home if he were ever to make a play. Now, if we were facing the Atlanta Braves, and Javier Sanoja hit the ball the same exact way, and Ronald Acuna is positioned at the right field, I think he would have had a way better play, because I looked at his Baseball Savant stats too. Ronald Acuna Jr. has a lot better arm strength compared to Harper. And Bryce Harper just moved back to the outfield after the Phillies acquired Luis Arraez early in the month. He was playing from first base for a little while because he had Tommy John surgery. So this would have been a big test for his arm if it was initially called a fair ball from the hit by Sanoja. We got completely screwed last night. No other way to put it. And it's really crazy how the officiating will find other ways to fuck up, even in the ABS era, with other plays going on. The umps really need to be held accountable, because it will not only affect the Miami Marlins, but it could affect any other team. I don't care who you're a fan of. Like, this should be called out. And the first base umpire that's responsible for all this, Shane Livensparger. Shame on him. Shame on him for messing up the initial call. It sucks to lose, and it stings the most when you lose by 1 run in the middle of a pretty important playoff race. We do have 36 games left in the season with a little hope on our shoulders, but time is running out. We could have been 4 games back of the last wildcard spot, but thanks to the Padres losing against the Mets and Diamondbacks dropping their game against the Red Sox, it still remains at 3 games behind. And like I said before, we have to win the last 2 to have the tiebreaker head-to-head, but against Wheeler and Nola, that's going to be hard to accomplish. But I have belief we are capable of making games close, so let's see how we do. What do you make of the botch play? You let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to channel if you're new, share this out with your friends and family, and I'm out. You have yourself a great day.